iteration is key when trying to come up with the best version of your product. And as Josh mentioned, you must have flexibility when you are building something. It doesn't matter what it is. So Josh, did Bitcoin came to stay, or is this just another iteration? Because we know Bitcoin was based on something else, but now we have DeFi, and who knows what else we will have in 3 years. Was Bitcoin just a simulator of what is coming next, or did Bitcoin came to stay?
Well, that's a fantastic question. I feel like Bitcoin is probably not going anywhere. I think that it's long-term, it will rise back up. It will continue to be strong. It is very independently controlled now, right? Nobody has too much influence over it. Obviously, there are definitely some big holders that could cause some issues, but decentralization is a good thing. There's definitely some aspects of it that are not good. The blockchain is good. Let me just make sure that point is clear. And I think Cal earlier was talking about how the difference between a DEX and a SEX, the decentralized exchange versus centralized exchange. And the decentralization is fine and good. Centralization can be manipulated. That's where it runs into some issues. Bitcoin is very unregulated, and so in that respect, it can be risky, it can be dangerous, but it isn't open to being manipulated as much. And so I think that that's a very good thing for us. There are things about decentralization that we don't love. One thing that a lot of people like about decentralization and Bitcoin is the anonymity. But anonymity, I don't think is a healthy thing for the blockchain. I think the blockchain needs to get away from anonymity. And as the sooner we do, the better we'll all be for it. Because anonymity just leads to people with nefarious intentions taking advantage of other people. And it also leads to things like money laundering and et cetera. And that's one of the big reasons why governments are opposed to decentralization. It's really the anonymity that's the problem, not the decentralization. And so for us specifically, we follow that decentralized principle, but without the anonymity. We're very transparent. Everyone knows what our wallets are. You can track all of our transactions. We're happy for that. But we build our game entirely on the blockchain. We have no backend server at all. It blows everyone's minds when they learn that. Our game is 100% on chain, literally. There's not a single aspect of our game that does not run on the chain. And the reason we do that is because the chain is good. The chain can be verified. The chain doesn't get manipulated. When you see these big problems that come up, sometimes they affect Bitcoin and other coins, but the problems are all due to centralized backend servers. If we go back a number of months when Axie had a hack that stole like 500 million in assets, things like that. That was all due to centralized servers. It had nothing to do with the chain. And so we very strongly believe in keep things on the chain. That's how you stay secure. You own your keys, you own your wallet, you do everything that way.
Yeah, we have all these keywords like transparency, immutability, decentralization, and some projects believe that just by starting an idea or a concept and just slapping some of these keywords, they will be, oh yes, we are decentralized. We are the next thing in the blockchain. When most of the times they are just another project that is using a blockchain to enable them to grow, but they are not actually neither transparent nor decentralized. So Ian, I have a question for you. So how did you manage to make the Woo vision what it is right now, and how did you pick the real foundations and the correct buzzwords? Because in this space to actually grow, you have to actually have a solid product which Wu is like has a lot of potential, and I do like it. I actually had some alpha packs, but yeah, go ahead with all of this.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest benefits that gave us credibility is that we partnered with real life wrestlers. Like, for example, Perry Saturn being a part of the project gave it some credibility. People that are into wrestling would know who that person is. Also bringing Raven on board and having him be a part of the project, and him also tweeting about us to his followers and bringing us up on his wildly successful podcast, that all really helped. But I think one of the biggest things that really helped, I have to throw it to Cupins, our marketing leader. He is just really smart, really great at engaging the community, picking the right SEO words, getting the message out there, and having good ideas of how we can continue to grow in various spaces, let that be Twitter or on hive.blog within the Hive community. So it was more about knowing I could trust in what he was doing on his end for marketing, and knowing that he does a great job. And that freed me up to be able to make relationships and build those relationships that I've had previously with wrestlers and bring them into this space. So that was, I think, the biggest factor that brought to our success. It was having partnered wrestlers, and then also giving back to the wrestling industry. Again, we are looking to leave wrestling better than we found it. There is a huge injustice being done to a whole class of workers. When you break into the wrestling business, a lot of times what will happen is you'll be out working out at the gym. A promoter will come up to you and start talking to you. Oh, I could get you in front of 10,000 people. Women are going to love you. They're going to be asking for your autograph. Nowhere you go, you'll be safe. Everyone's going to know your name. You can't even buy groceries anymore. And they give you this idea that you're going to be this super famous superstar, and they kind of feed on that dream. Then they ask you for thousands of dollars to train you as a wrestler. And a lot of times you're being trained by someone who only has a couple of years into the business and is mistrained themselves. I've seen plenty of wrestlers get into the business, jump over the top rope, making their entrance and breaking their leg in half. And now they are in a really bad position. So again, there is a need for what we're looking to do, not just in the crypto space and on Web3 and gaming, but actually in the real world. Again, with wrestlers being independent contractors, us partnering with them and giving them new sources of revenue, we're really looking to, again, leave it better than we found it.